The DASH diet, Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, is a dietary pattern promoted by the US-based National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute to prevent and control hypertension. The DASH diet is rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and low-fat dairy foods. Includes meat, fish, poultry, nuts, and beans. And is limited in sugar-sweetened foods and beverages, red meat, and added fats. In addition to its effect on blood pressure, it is designed to be a well-balanced approach to eating for the general public. DASH is recommended by the United States Department of Agriculture (USDA) as one of its ideal eating plans for all Americans. The DASH diet is based on NIH studies that examined 3 dietary plans and their results. None of the plans were vegetarian, but the DASH plan incorporated more fruits and vegetables, low-fat or non-fat dairy, beans, and nuts than the others studied. The DASH diet reduced systolic blood pressure by 6 mm Hg and diastolic blood pressure by 3 mm Hg in patients with high normal blood pressure, formerly called prehypertension. Those with hypertension dropped by 11 and 6 mm Hg, respectively. These changes in blood pressure occurred with no changes in body weight. The DASH dietary pattern is adjusted based on daily caloric intake ranging from 1,600 to 3,100 dietary calories. The DASH diet was further tested and developed in the Optimal Macronutrient Intake Trial for Heart Health (OmniHeart Diet). The DASH and DASH sodium trials demonstrated that a carbohydrate-rich diet that emphasizes fruits, vegetables, and low-fat dairy products, and that is reduced in saturated fat, total fat, and cholesterol substantially lowered blood pressure and low-density lipoprotein cholesterol. OmniHeart demonstrated that partial replacement of carbohydrate with either protein, about half from plant sources, or with unsaturated fat, mostly monounsaturated fat, can further reduce blood pressure, low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, and coronary heart disease risk. In January 2016, DASH was named the #1 for best diets overall and for healthy eating, tied #2 for diabetes, and ranked #3 for heart health, out of 38 diets tested in the U.S. News & World Report's annual Best Diets rankings. 2 experimental diets were selected for the DASH study and compared with each other, and with a third, the control diet. The control diet was low in potassium, calcium, magnesium and fiber, and featured a fat and protein profile so that the pattern was consistent with a typical American diet at the time. The first experimental diet was higher in fruits and vegetables, but otherwise similar to the control diet, a fruits and vegetables diet, with the exception of fewer snacks and sweets. Magnesium and potassium levels were close to the 75th percentile of U.S. consumption in the fruits and vegetables diet, which also featured a high fiber profile. The second experimental diet was high in fruits and vegetables and in low-fat dairy products, as well as lower in overall fat and saturated fat, with higher fiber and higher protein compared with the control diet. This diet has been called the DASH diet. The DASH diet, or combination diet, was rich in potassium, magnesium and calcium, a nutrient profile roughly equivalent with the 75th percentile of U.S. consumption. The combination or DASH diet was also high in whole grains, poultry, fish, and nuts while being lower in red meat content, sweets, and sugar-containing beverages. The DASH diet was designed to provide liberal amounts of key nutrients thought to play a part in lowering blood pressure, based on past epidemiologic studies. One of the unique features of the DASH study was that dietary patterns rather than single nutrients were being tested. The DASH diet also features a high quotient of antioxidant-rich foods thought by some to retard or prevent chronic health problems including cancer, heart disease, and stroke. Researchers have also found that the DASH diet is more effective than a low oxalate diet in the prevention and treatment of kidney stones, specifically calcium oxalate kidney stones, the most common type. The DASH trial showed that dietary patterns can and do affect blood pressure in the high normal BP to moderately hypertensive adult population. Respectively, the DASH or combination diet lowered blood pressures by an average of 5.5 and 3.0 mm Hg for systolic and diastolic, compared with the control diet. The minority portion of the study sample and the hypertensive portion both showed the largest reductions in blood pressure from the combination diet against the control diet. The hypertensive subjects experienced a drop of 11.4 mm Hg in their systolic and 5.5 mm Hg in their diastolic phases. The fruits and vegetables diet was also successful, although it produced more modest reductions compared with the control diet, 2.8 mm Hg systolic and 1.1 mm Hg diastolic. In the subjects with and without hypertension, the combination diet effectively reduced blood pressure more than the fruits and vegetables diet or the control diet did. The data indicated that reductions in blood pressure occurred within 2 weeks of subjects starting their designated diets, and that the results were generalizable to the target sample of the U.S. population. Side effects were negligible, but the NAME study reports that some subjects reported constipation as a problem. At the end of the intervention phase, 10.1, 5.4 and 4.0% of the subjects reported this problem for the control, fruits and vegetables and combination diets, respectively, showing that the fruits and vegetables and combination diets reduce constipation. Apart from only one subject on the control diet who was suffering from cholecystitis, other gastrointestinal symptoms had a low rate of incidence.